Hey, what's going on everyone? Today we're going to be checking out the Euphree City Robin X. This is a beautiful looking bike, beautiful step-through bike, but we're going to put it through its paces today, take it on a test ride, check out the performance of it, see how it performs up hills, see what kind of speed it has, and just what kind of ride it is overall. Now, one awesome thing about this bike is that it is a US based company, and this bike comes with a 2-year warranty. They're based out of Texas, and that's really nice to see. Not too many US based companies out there, so really nice to see another one where if you have a problem you can call and speak to somebody on the phone if you have issues with your bikes or have any questions. Now, they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to review one of their bikes, and as always guys, I like to do my research. I called the number on the website, went directly to a person that was real knowledgeable, had a bunch of questions before they even knew who I was calling, and answered all my questions. So that's, like I said, that's great to see the US based customer support. Now, with that being said, this is a little bit more expensive bike, probably because it is a US based company. But I gotta tell you guys, there's a few things this bike comes with that really impressed me. The first being the NCX Suntour suspension seat post. Now, normally these seat posts are around $100 to $150, and they include it on this bike, which is an amazing feature that they do include that. And if I get a coupon code, I'll be sure to post that down below so you guys can save a few bucks. And if you guys decide you want to pick one of these up after watching this video and think it's right for you, then I'll leave an affiliate link down below. I believe it'll be an affiliate link. I'm not 100% sure right now, but I'll disclose all that down below. So if you use it, I might make a commission. Just wanted to throw that out there. Now, the first thing I want to mention is that this seat is their upgraded seat. I believe they charge somewhere around $60 for that. It's the Velo plush seat, a little bit bigger than the standard seat that comes with this bike. And this bike also has their bar and mirror on here that's around $30, so that's an additional accessory. Now, they did send a folding lock as well that you can mount here in the center on the frame or back here on the seat post tube, which is really nice to see. They give you two different options to mount your water bottle or different accessories. If you have a lock, you can mount it to one and then mount your water bottle to the other. So really nice to see two sets of water bottle mounts there. And one other awesome feature that I almost forgot is the wiring on the front of this bike, guys, goes down in the adjustable stem. Here you can't see any wiring throughout most of the bike. Really nice and compact how it goes down through there. Very unique. I've never seen this before where they actually go into the neck of the bike. Most bikes have the wires coming down into here on the frame, and what's nice about this is the only cable you have to worry about is the hydraulic brake cable when you're mounting the front basket on, which they do have as an accessory on their website, so you don't have to worry about those wires or anything getting in the way of your basket. So up here on the handlebars on the left hand side, you have a thumb throttle and you have your control pad here on the left hand side. Now, this is my phone mounted on my cell phone holder. I'll put links to these down below if you guys are interested in a good cell phone holder. This is the one I always use and recommend. Now, they do have a spot for a cell phone holder here in the center, and you could buy a specific case for your phone that locks right in there, which is pretty cool. You have a nice set of brown grips that are real ergonomic, a little bit stiff, but really nice. I really like these grips. Now, you have a micro shift 7-speed shifter here. Now, it does not show you exactly what gear you're in. It just says 1 through 7, but I got to tell you guys, after using this shifter, you can definitely tell it's a lot more premium than the standard thumb shifter or trigger shifters that are on almost all of other e-bikes. I definitely like this system here. It just seems like it works really well. Even the bell on this bike looks like a really good quality bell, not one of those cheap bells. You can tell there's some decent quality there. Now, that 7-speed micro shifter leads down to the 14 to 28 freewheel in the rear, and it's using a micro shift 26 derailleur with a nice derailleur guard here. Coming up the chain, we have a 42 tooth chain ring in the front and a set of nice Well-Go pedals that are actually rubber coated on the outsides. It has rubber here. Typically, I never see that on pedals. Usually they're just metal. Pretty nice that they're rubberized there to help keep you from slipping off of them. And it is a super windy day here, guys. I hope you're not hearing all the wind. Hopefully my microphone muff is working good and you hear good audio quality. So I hope that wind doesn't get in the way, but you guys can see here how windy it is. It may affect the speed test slightly depending on how windy it is where I film it. So just keep that in mind. I'll let you guys know. But man, I can't believe how windy it is here today. So another very nice feature about this bike that I like is the adjustable neck on this bike can adjust all the way down or way back to allow you less reach. The handlebars have a good ergonomic swept back design, the mustache style handlebars, which is very comfortable. You guys have seen some other videos where I've actually changed it to these style handlebars, so really nice to see that it comes with those. And this bike is powered by a 14 amp hour battery inside the frame here, and it's using a 20 amp controller to power the 500 watt rear hub motor that peaks at 900 watts in the rear of the bike. It has a heavy duty kickstand, and it's using a cadence sensor to power the bike when you're pedaling. For stopping power, this bike's using a really nice set of Step-thru hydraulic disc brakes, coming down to a 180 millimeter rotor in the front, and in the back they decided to go with a 160 millimeter rotor. Would have been nice to see them keep a 180 millimeter rotor in the back as well, but at least they did put the bigger one up front where you get most of your stopping power from. The rear rack on this bike is integrated with the frame and welded on, so you cannot remove the rear rack. But the benefit of that is that this thing is rated for about 100 pounds of weight capacity, so you don't have to worry about what you put on this rack. It's probably going to hold it pretty good. And they do have an additional basket that you can easily clip on and off of here. You can see there's some holes up here for maybe mounting something. Not quite sure what that's for, but I do like the design of their basket where you can easily clip it on and remove it. And you can also get a front basket that they sell on their website for the front here that mounts easily on these mounts on the front. So now when I reached out to them initially and they didn't know who I was, the questions I had was what was the difference between the City Robin X and the original City Robin, and they explained to me that this model, the X, comes with a 20 amp controller versus an 18 amp controller of the regular City Robin, and that this bike has slightly more power because it's tuned a little bit differently, or you could actually go in the settings and tune the slow start or fast start feature of this one. The other bike has more of a slower start to it, and I don't believe you can change that in the settings as of now. And another difference is the headlight, like I said, on this one is mounted up here versus down here on the front fork for the original City Robin. But the good news is they both come with the NCX Suntour suspension seat post, so that is awesome in my opinion. And honestly, this is the first time I tested this post out. And if you guys seen most of my other videos, I always highly recommend the Redshift suspension seat post. That post is like $200 and some, with this one being $150 on their website and around $100 to $120 on Amazon. I'm definitely going to be recommending this one as another option because it's a cheaper option and works really well. Now with this bike having a 20 amp controller, when I went into the menu settings, it was set to 15 amps, so I upped that to 18 amps in the settings just to get the highest amperage rating. I played around with those settings a little bit and did not really see much of a difference, so I don't know if they have this programmed to one set amperage rating to where that doesn't make a difference what you change it to, but in the manual it states not to change it from 18, so I went ahead and set it to 18 from 15 that it was set at from the factory, and I'm going to go ahead and leave it set at that. And I do have the start speed turned up on this bike. We're going to go over on the rad test with how that all works and what differences I've seen, so make sure you guys stick around to see that. But the color of this bike is beautiful, guys. They do have 4 different colors. They have this blue color, they have, I believe it's called emerald green, which is a beautiful color as well. Then they have a black and a white. So 4 different options for you to choose from if you're interested in this bike. And one more feature on this bike for safety that I forgot to mention was it does have a rear tail light that is actually a brake light. So there's the tail light, and then when you pull the brake lever, it does get brighter. Not super bright, or not a lot brighter when you pull the brake lever, but it does get brighter, which is nice to see an integrated brake light built into this. This bike also does come with a set of front and rear metal fenders. Now when I got this one, there was a slight ding right here. I was able to hammer it out no problem and can't even really tell. And there was just a slight little nick right here on the tube of the frame. Not really that big of a deal, to be honest. But overall, guys, the color of this bike is beautiful in my opinion. Really good looking build quality here. Definitely tell it's a well-made bike. And for the front suspension, you have an SR Suntour suspension fork. and what seems to be like a hydraulic lockout. There is no clicks of adjustment, but it does feel like as you turn this, it does make the suspension softer or stiffer. So there is some adjustment there. It just doesn't click in individual increments, which is perfectly okay with me. You can actually put it wherever you want. And then on the left-hand side, you do have a preload adjuster. So not too bad of a suspension fork in the front, in my opinion. Seems to be working out pretty well. And this bike is sitting on a pair of Kenda 27.5 by 2.1 inch tires. All right guys, that's pretty much the main specs and features, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the ride test and let's go see what kind of power this bike has. All right guys, here we go on the hill test that I do in all my videos. We are in pedal assist 5. I'm gonna start out with just throttle, and man, that thing really took off on pedal assist 5 with throttle. With that setting turned up for a more powerful start, seemed like it started pretty good, but we're gonna see how this bike does up this hill. 8, 7, 6, 5. So it's actually a little bit more powerful than the electric XP and the electric 2.0 because I never dropped below 5 miles per hour on that hill. My more powerful bikes will make it up that hill at about 11 miles per hour. Those are the 750 watt ones. And a lot of 500 watt ones will not make it up that hill. At around 4 miles per hour, I stopped. And this one made it all the way up that at 5 miles per hour. So definitely peaking at around 900 watts, I would say for sure. So really nice to see the power of this 500 watt motor, that they didn't skimp on that, and going to be definitely powerful enough for most people. So I really do like the bar end mirror on this a lot better than the other bar end mirrors that I've used in the past because it's a lot bigger. I actually have my father-in-law and my son riding behind me right now on some other bikes, and I can see them really easily in this big bar end mirror. So I could definitely recommend this mirror, even if not for this bike, for another bike that you may have. Really nice bar end mirror in my opinion. All right guys, so now we're on a fairly level stretch here and I'm in pedal assist 1. Now, in my opinion, pedal assist 1 seems a little bit fast at around 10 to 11 miles per hour, and there really is no way to adjust that in the settings. It would have been nice if they gave you a little bit more adjustability for you to tone down some of those pedal assist levels. And there's 5 levels of assist, but you can't change that. In the manual, it states that you could do 3, 5, or 9. However, it was locked at 5 and I couldn't change that. So I'm not sure if that's gonna be something that they update in the future. Since it is in the user manual, that's something you guys might wanna ask them. But on this bike, you cannot change it from 5 different levels and you cannot adjust each level individually. You can, however, adjust your speed and of the overall max speed, and you can adjust the start strength. Like I said earlier, you can make it so that it has a slower start, or you can make it to where it has a peppier start. Now, I've noticed that I didn't see much of a difference when you change that from slow start to a peppier start when you're in the lower pedal assist levels, but I did notice a pretty big difference when you're in pedal assist 5 and you change that, because it takes off pretty quick and easily. For example, right now I'm in pedal assist 1 and you can see it starts out pretty easy even when it's set to a more peppy start or a faster start. But let me switch it to 5 here. So now I'm in pedal assist 5 and you can see it really picks up pretty good in 5. Now if you set that to a slower start when you're in 5, it does seem to start a little bit more gradual, which is going to be great for beginner riders or someone that's not 100% comfortable with the power of an electric bicycle. That would be a great feature for them, so it is nice that you can adjust that in the settings. All right, so now we're gonna test out the brakes on this bike. I'm going 24 miles per hour. And excellent stopping power with those Step-thru hydraulic disc brakes, as I expected it would. Typically with hydraulic brakes, and I believe they use, I'm not 100% sure, but I believe they use ceramic pads, which have excellent stopping power. I thought I read that somewhere, but I could be wrong, guys. But excellent stopping power, no squeaks or squeals anywhere. I did have to adjust the brakes a little bit out of the box, but assembly on this bike was really easy. I just had to install the handlebars on this bike I had to install the front wheel, the front fender, and the pedals. Other than that, pretty easy assembly. So in pedal assist 2 on this bike, it's around 15 miles per hour. And on pedal assist 3, you're gonna be at about 20 miles per hour. So if you have this bike set to a class 2 bike and the speed turned down to 20 miles per hour, you're pretty much gonna reach that 20 miles per hour by the time you get to pedal assist 3. Got some bumps up here. That suspension seat post is working excellent. Front suspension seems really nice and soft on this bike. Let's take it down here a little bit off-road in the woods and try out that front suspension just a little bit more. Yeah, front suspension works pretty good. All right, here we go, back up. And I was actually, got a little leaf stuck in there. I was actually in 7th gear, so I didn't have much pedaling input on that. And you can see the 500 watt motor pulled me up. It did slow down quite a bit there at the top, but that's probably because I was in the wrong gear. And you can see how noticeable that front light makes you. It sits up really nice and high and gives you the illumination on the side, which is very nice as well. But look how beautiful this bike looks. The color of it is just awesome. All right, so I went in the settings and changed the max speed of the bike down to 12 miles per hour to see if that would slow down pedal assist 1. And unfortunately, it still goes about 10 miles per hour in pedal assist 1. It does seem like it takes a little longer to get to that point, but still going pretty fast. And now it tops out at 12 miles per hour. So, I mean, in theory, you might be able to set it way down for your max speed, but then you're not going to be able to go past that speed anyway. And in pedal assist 2, I'm hitting 12 miles per hour and being maxed out at that. So I think they need to do a little bit of improvements on the adjustability of the bike itself as far as the pedal assist levels go. But for most people, they're going to love the bike just the way it is. All right, so now I'm in pedal assist 3 at about 18 to 19 miles per hour. I still have 2 more pedal assists to go. So really, you're gonna pretty much hit, like I said, 20 miles per hour by the time you get to 3, and 4 and 5 is just gonna allow you to go faster if you have it set to a class 3, but it's gonna allow you to get up to that speed faster as well. It's gonna have a peppier start when you're in those higher levels. So that was 3, 4. 4 got some pretty good speed. We's hitting, let's see what 4 is, and then we're gonna go up into max pedal assist 5. And I do have it set to the highest speed right now, so we'll see what we can get out of that. So pedal assist 4 is 23 miles per hour. And I'm not putting any pressure on the pedals, I'm just turning them to sense rotation, so 23 to 24 miles per hour. Now pedal assist 5, this is going to be a max speed run. Not putting any pressure on the pedals. Let's just see what we can do with pedal assist. 28. So really easily up to 28, guys, no problems at all. But you can see if I want to keep up with these pedals, this is how fast I got to pedal for the cadence at 26, 27, 28. So I'm running out of pedal really easily. Now let's see what we got with just throttle. And just throttle is holding me at 27. And it's probably because the wind's hitting me in the face. So I would say easily 27 to 28 miles per hour with throttle or pedaling. And I'm 165 pounds. Let's see if we can still reach top speed in pedal assist 1. And yes, you can. So you do have full throttle in any pedal assist level from 1 to 5. Really nice to see. I love having full throttle in all the pedal assist levels. So easily 26, 25, hitting a little hill here now. So the speed on this bike is pretty good, guys. Class 3 e-bike. Now, one thing I do gotta say about this bike is I do like the upright sitting position of it, how you can get the handlebars really high by angling this long stem up in the air. You can get the handlebars up high, and with that suspension seat post in there being that it makes you sit a little higher, I still have a pretty good upright sitting position and not bent too far forward, which is the position I typically like to ride in. But so far, the suspension seems very nice. You can see here the micro shifter. Really like the shifter on this bike. You just can't see exactly what gear you're in, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Just put it in whatever gear feels right to you while you're pedaling. All right, here we go up one of the steepest hills in my town. I'm in pedal assist 5, using throttle in gear 1, putting barely any effort in. Let's see how hard it is to get up this one-handed. Pretty steep hill. And I am putting some decent effort in here. Not too bad though. Right up it, no problem pedaling. The power of the 500 watt 48 volt motor. All right, so now we're cruising up the last long hill and not too bad. I do have to put in some effort. My legs are starting to burn a little bit. But I would say really comparable to some of my other more powerful 500 watt bikes. Very similar in power, maybe slightly more power, like I said, but pretty close to some of the other 500 watt bikes I have, and more powerful than some of the other ones that I have. So on the higher end of 500 watts for sure. Taking me up this no problem with some pedaling in gear 1. And made it to the top. All right, here's the first hill we went up after that 8-mile ride. Getting a run for it, full throttle. Battery says it's down to 20% under load. Let's see what kind of speed we can maintain with a lower battery. 6, 5, and still gonna maintain 5 miles per hour, but that was with a run for it that time. Obviously, the battery is a lot less charged now than when we began. Not too bad, guys. Pretty good for a 500 watt motor. And this is what 6'6", 280 pounds looks like on the Euphree City Robin. You can see the seat post is at the maximum position, and there's plenty of height there for a 6'6" rider. Does that feel too tall for you?
Yeah, it's a little high, but
he actually thinks that it's a little bit high. He feels too high on it right there, so he would lower the seat down normally, but for leg extension, that's probably about where he would actually need to have it for the proper leg extension. But like I said, he feels a little high, and I'm probably making you guys dizzy. And he adjusted it down to where he would put it, where he feels comfortable. So you can see there's plenty of adjustability there on the seat height. And he's whipping around in pedal assist 5 right now. Still very capable bike at 500 watts. So there you have it, guys. I'm 5'7.5" to 5'8". He's 6'6", and it fits him too. So very adjustable for different height riders. And they did tell me that they were thinking about including a non-suspension seat post with the bike in the future for shorter riders as well. But keep that in mind, if you are a shorter rider, you can go ahead and put that seat post down lower if you get a non-suspension post, and will fit you a little better, just be a little bit less comfortable. And I'll throw the seat height up here from the minimum to the maximum seat height with the suspension post, and then roughly where I think it would be at with a non-suspension post, because I don't have one to throw in there to measure it. But that's something that you might be able to reach out to them about and ask them about as well. All right, we're going to test out the suspension on here, the front suspension and the seat post. Woo! Pretty nice. Pretty nice soft post and front suspension. You can see there, works pretty good, nice and smooth. And as you turn this, you can hear it restricting the fluid, which means that it is adjustable over here, even though there's no clicks. You can see it's getting stiffer. And if you turn it far enough, it will lock it out with that hydraulic lockout, and all the way open will make it smoother. So no issues at all with the suspension on this. Very nice and soft. You can see how the seat post goes back as it goes down. That's what's nice about these better suspension seats. It makes the ride really soft and comfortable. Now after that 9-mile ride, to be honest guys, I still feel like this seat's a little bit hard in my opinion. I still prefer the Cloud9 one that I always use. I'll put links down below in the description for it if you guys are interested. Really nice that it's bigger, but it still feels stiff, and my butt does hurt a little bit after this ride. So there you have it, guys. There's the Euphree City Robin X. I hope you guys found this video interesting and helpful. Please leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you guys thought of the bike, how it performed. And if you guys are interested in it, like I said, I'll put links down below. Make sure you guys give me a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Consider subscribing so you see more content like this, and I will see all of you around on the next one for sure. Thanks for watching, everyone.